Good day, St. Martin. I'm Yesenia Lassie.
And I'm Alston Lawrence.
And welcome to another edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We're bringing the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
Fresh off of honoring our ancestors for Emancipation Day, this is the middle of the week. Let's check out the top headlines.
June 30th marked the International Day of Parliamentarism, celebrating the vital role of parliaments in democratic governance and their efforts to become more inclusive, transparent, and representative. This year's theme, Achieving Gender Equality Action by Action, emphasized the need for greater inclusion of women and youth in politics, especially as trust in institutions declines globally. To mark the occasion, the President of Parliament of St. Martin, Honorable Sarah Westcott Williams, hosted a meeting with her counterparts from Aruba and Curaçao, Honorable Alfred Marlon Snake and Honorable Fergino Brownbill. The meeting aimed to strengthen regional ties within the Kingdom of the Netherlands following recent elections in all three countries. Key topics included interparliamentary cooperation, regional collaboration, and the Kingdom dispute regulation.
Monday, June 30th, several officers of the St. Martin Police Force, KPSM, were awarded certificates for successfully completing a series of professional development trainings. The ceremony marked the start of a broader initiative to turn newly gained knowledge into operational improvements, stronger investigative skills, and higher ethical standards. The trainings focus on boosting technical abilities, enhancing service delivery, and reinforcing integrity, key pillars of KPSM's ongoing strategy to build a more effective and accountable police force. The Chief of Police emphasized that the certification reflects a shift toward action-driven policing grounded in professionalism, ethics, and public trust. KPSM's management team thanked all participating officers and reaffirmed its commitment to ongoing officer development and service excellence. The Ministry of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport, and Telecommunications, known as TEAT, announced the temporary closure of its Economic Licenses Department service desk at the Public Service Center effective July 1st for 4 to 6 weeks. Honorable Minister Grisha Heilige Martin stated the closure aims to address public concerns, clear existing backlogs, and improve service delivery, especially for micro, small, and medium enterprises. During this period, the ministry will implement a new digital document upload system and discontinue the current online platform. Walk-in service will return after reopening, with mornings for submissions and afternoons for status updates.
Maurice the Court has been appointed as the new governor of Curaçao. The 51-year-old legal expert will officially take office on November 4th, 2025, following the conclusion of Lucille George Wout's second term. The court's appointment was approved by the Kingdom Council of Ministers in The Hague, and it's set for the standard 6-year term. He currently serves as president of the Joint Court of Justice for Aruba, Curaçao, St. Martin, and the BES Islands, a role he has held since 2022. With a legal career that spans over a decade, the court previously served as vice president of the court's branches in Curaçao and Bonaire. He began his legal work as a practicing attorney and was appointed a judge in 2011. He studied law at Leiden University and the University of London. In addition to his legal background, the court has been active in cultural and social organizations in both Curaçao and St. Martin. As governor, he will serve as the head of government in Curaçao and as the official representative of the Dutch King, acting as a vital link between the islands and the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Bust the chains, cool effect. Wonder out, I got your mouth. Vibe is the one that people talking about. Hello? Chin? I say you're calling your mouth. Hey, hey, let's have up. Let's have up. Let's have up. I want you to bend down, bend up. I want you to walk up, walk up. For more information, Bust the Chain Cool Effect at Facebook and Instagram.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Make the switch. Get faster internet for less.
Here is Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into the forecast and see how the skies are treating us. The Met Department of St. Martin is keeping a sharp eye on the Atlantic, ready to update you with the latest. So don't forget to follow NEWSDESK on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy your week, stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
Thank you for spending time with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. This year, powerful Hurricane Flossie near the coast of southern Mexico. Winds right now are roughly around 90 miles per hour. Some of the gusts as high as 120, 125 miles per hour, 200 kilometers an hour. Fortunately, the hurricane winds are sitting just offshore. So I want to cover Flossie, some life-threatening flooding, no doubt, and mudslides possible in parts of Mexico. Then there is this area here. Development's a little bit more likely now near the southeast coast of the U.S., just north of the Bahamas. I want to show you the German icon model, which has really a good feel on what could happen right in this area here. So we'll cover that as well in this video. And then new tropical waves moving through the Caribbean. Now, as we go through the Caribbean the next few days, I'm going to be watching off toward the east. That's where we have some bigger tropical waves. Look at this. Here we are in Barbados, down through Trinidad, over towards St. Lucia and Dominica. We look over here. These tropical waves are now hanging together some. Do I expect them to totally hang together? No, I don't. But as it's still the start of hurricane season. But as we get deeper into July, we're going to see more and more of these hanging together and moving in, and that's when we'll start to see some signs of development. So just feeding off of that very warm water. Now we swing back here into the Caribbean, then we'll get it to Flossie, and then I'll widen out the view. Two tropical waves moving in. But there's not a lot with them initially, but we are going to see the rain building again in Central America. Costa Rica, heavy rain building the next few days. You see that? Parts of Panama, parts of Nicaragua, so heavy rain. Jamaica, over toward the DR, parts of Puerto Rico, hit or miss storms like the last few days. Some of us completely dry and super hot, right? But others getting some thunderstorms around. So we'll see this tropical wave bringing that moisture to Central America. The other one, just hit or miss showers. St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua, Barbuda, passing showers possible back through Trinidad and Grenada. Now, the tropical wave that moves into Central America first, that's going to build in the Eastern Pacific. Another named storm will be developing in the Eastern Pacific where it has been so active. On the heels of Flossie, we'll see another system. And on Friday, there are the hit or miss showers. But by Friday, I want to keep an eye on these tropical waves out here in the Atlantic to see how much of those hang together for us, for Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, to see how much rain may eventually move in. Now, swinging back to Flossie, I showed you that right at the beginning of this video. The really strong winds, the center of it, though, sitting offshore, that is the good news. But like I showed you for days and days now, even with the center offshore, that is throwing a lot of rain back into parts of Mexico. That's the issue. You have really higher terrain in here. really splitting Puerto Vallarta back toward Zihuatanejo. That's where we're going to see some tropical storm conditions. That's why we went into action mode days ago, giving you the advance warning. That's why I do this channel. You can see the center offshore, but those bands of rain just working in, hitting the higher terrain. That is a mudslide threat, no doubt, right in through the southwest coast of Mexico, even by tomorrow, now by the end of the week to Bermuda. So an old front will bring down some of that rain through the southeast U.S. That's where we could see some development. New tropical waves. I showed you some of those stronger ones out in the Atlantic. We'll monitor that. And Flossie over the next 24 hours continues to get stronger in the Pacific. Thank you for being part of this weather community. I hope you have a really good day ahead.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
On July 1st, 2025, the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin, CBCS, issued a special colored 50-cent coin to commemorate the Caribbean Guilders' adoption as the sole legal tender in both Curaçao and St. Martin. This limited edition coin marks the end of the co-circulation period and is available in two versions, one labeled Curaçao and the other St. Martin, both circulating in their respective countries. The coin's design features a colored orange blossom on the obverse, symbolizing prosperity, purity, and fruitfulness. The reverse displays the denomination surrounded by a constellation of 30 pearls, representing the autonomy achieved on October 10, 2010, when both islands attained status within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Minted by the Royal Canadian Mint, these coins are legal tender, will enter circulation through commercial banks, and are expected to be prized collector's items.
On July 1st, Curaçao officially launches Deposit Guarantee Scheme, DGS, providing depositors with legal protection on their funds held at credit institutions. Under the new scheme, deposits at credit unions are insured up to 25,000 Caribbean guilders per account holder, while deposits at banks and saving funds are protected up to 50,000 Caribbean guilders. Coverage is automatic, requiring no action from depositors. The DGS aims to strengthen financial stability and public confidence by ensuring that eligible depositors receive compensation if a credit institution fails to meet its obligations. The Central Bank van Curaçao and St. Martin CBCS oversees the scheme's implementation, working alongside the newly established Deposit Guarantee Fund to manage compensation funds. A similar deposit guarantee scheme is being developed for St. Martin to provide equivalent protection. CBCS also launched a dedicated website and will roll out a public awareness campaign to educate residents about the new protections. June 28, the Rotary Club of St. Martin Mid-Isle held its annual change of board ceremony at Paradise Event Hall, welcoming the 2025-2026 Board of Directors. The event featured speeches, awards, and recognition of the club's impactful service projects over the past year. Notable awards included Paul Harris Fellow Pins for Rotarians Rena Manek and Claricia Yvette Hart, as well as the District 7 T20 Ruby Award and Zone 33/34 Epic Award for Public Image Excellence. The club highlighted key community efforts such as disaster relief during Hurricane Beryl, international coastal cleanups, and the End Polio Walkathon, youth leadership programs, and various charitable initiatives. The new board, led by President Esmeralda Rami, was officially installed. The evening ended with musical performances and fellowship, underscoring the club's commitment to service and community engagement in the coming year.
St. Dominic High School closed the 2024-2025 academic year with an impressive 98.4% promotion rate among its 258 students from Forms 1 through 4, including the IB Year 1 cohort. This milestone highlights the school's dedication to academic excellence and holistic student development. Nearly 20% of students earned second honors by maintaining averages of 80% or higher, with Form 3 particularly excelling. School liaison Marie Richardson credited the achievement to the committed teachers, the care team, and supportive programs like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. Looking ahead, the school plans to bolster support for at-risk students, reintroduce coordinators for different grade levels, and launch a wellness program focusing on physical, mental, and spiritual health while embracing cultural diversity.
Another level. What did you do?
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season saw its second named storm, Tropical Storm Barry, formed briefly over the weekend in Bay of Campeche, Gulf of Mexico. Barry made landfall south of Tampico, Mexico on Sunday, but dissipated within 24 hours. Meteorologists are now monitoring a developing weather system offshore near the Carolinas, where conditions could lead to tropical development later this week. through the holiday weekend. According to Crown Weather, a stationary front combined with an upper-level disturbance is causing persistent showers and thunderstorms across the Florida Panhandle and central to North Florida. This front is expected to linger near the warm waters of the northeastern Gulf and the Gulf Stream off the southeastern U.S. coast. A low-pressure system may form by Thursday or Friday, with potential to develop into a tropical storm. However, forecasters remain uncertain where exactly the system will form. Options include the northeastern Gulf west of Florida, inland Florida, or southern Georgia, or offshore near northeast Florida, southeast Georgia, and the Carolinas. Residents and officials are advised to stay alert as the situation develops over the coming days.
Alvin Prescott of Focus Forward Media has officially launched the school distribution of 240 seconds of We Own Ting, a cultural docu-series capturing the voices and legacies of iconic St. Martin cultural figures. USB drives with the full series were recently delivered to Sister Borkia Elementary, Charlotte Brookson Academy, and Asher Stevens Hillside Christian Schools during their final week of classes. The goal is for schools to integrate the series into their curriculum, not just for St. Martin Day, but year-round. Prescott emphasized the importance of preserving local heritage and inspiring younger generations through authentic storytelling. The series is also available online via weownting.sx and the official Facebook page, allowing the wider community to access and share in the island's cultural pride. The initiative was made possible through support from Cultuurfonds Caribisch Gebied, Laser 101, Islandpreneur, and dedicated contributors. Distribution will continue in the upcoming school year, aiming to reach all primary and high schools across the island. Travelers passing through Princess Juliana International Airport over the weekend were treated to more than just flight announcements. They were greeted by wagging tails and adoptable dogs. The airport has partnered with local animal rescue foundation SXM Paws to launch a unique program that blends tourism with compassion. The initiative invites passengers to meet friendly rescue dogs, learn about St. Martin Paws mission, and even sign up to foster a pet during their stay on the island. Princess Juliana officials said the program highlights the airport's commitment to community engagement and social responsibility while creating memorable moments for visitors. The initiative also raises awareness about the island's stray animal population and supports SXM Paws' effort to rescue and rehome dogs in need. Future pop-up visits by SXM Paws are expected to continue, offering travelers a joyful experience while helping animals find forever homes. For more information or to get involved, visit sxmpaws.com.
The Royal Netherlands Army officially rotated its Land Force Company in the Caribbean on Monday, June 30th, during a military ceremony marking the handover from Company Rotation 48 to Rotation 49. Major Marco Kamphorst took command from Lieutenant Colonel Kjell Koster in a traditional paddle transfer. Over the past 4 months, Koster's unit, Engineer Company 11, conducted intensive training across Curaçao, Aruba, and Bonaire, focusing on engineering, airfield repairs, explosives, and tactical operations in the region's challenging climate. One key operation during the rotation was the unit's assistance on St. Martin following the recent prison fire. Engineers worked alongside local authorities and the Marine Detachment to support recovery efforts, strengthening security and interagency cooperation. Lieutenant Colonel Koster praised the teamwork and mutual learning, calling the deployment both productive and meaningful. Incoming Commander Major Kamphorst now leads Brigade Reconnaissance Squadron 43, supported by engineer and medical units. The squadron brings advanced reconnaissance skills, including drone use and ground surveillance, and will train in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao over the next 4 months. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. on TV 15, and then across all social media platforms. I'm Austin Lawrence.
And I'm Yesenia Lázaro, wishing you an amazing week. See you next time.
Stay friendly.
St. Martin.